Hello, my name is Navigator, and in today's quick video, I'm going to be going over what I grabbed in another weekend in Buffalo. This weekend, though, I did attend TNA Border Brawl 2025. I'm not sure if it's going to be an annual thing, but it was a TNA sponsored event, a wrestling event in Canada, right in Niagara Falls. Just hopped over the border there. But yeah, so today I did stop by that Eddie's Toy Shop as well, so I'm going to be showing some stuff off, but that is going to be the point of today's video. So without further ado, let me go over some of the stuff that we got. We'll start off here with the literature, just some different papers and flyers and everything that I picked up. You guys know that I love this stuff. If you guys aren't new on the channel, I do adorn the outside of my little arena here with the little flyers and everything. I guess I should maybe take them down at some point, swap it out with something else, because I did hop over to Rome, New York the other day to go visit one of my friends, brother Jonas. He's a local wrestler. And he had a crazy collection there. If you guys are in the New York State Wrestling grouping, go check it out there. But anyways, he had a whole, wall full of like pretty much murals almost of all of his tickets and little autographs and everything that he had grabbed. And I want to do something like that one day. So I'm going to continue to grab stuff like this. But we do have my tickets here from Border Brawl. I don't think there's any revealing information on here. The event did end, but I do have those. So I'll be keeping those. Me and my girlfriend did attend. Next up here, there was somebody out in the parking lot putting these on windows. So the flyer is a little water damaged because it was raining. But this is the First Niagara Slamboree 2. I'm not sure why it's Slamboree 2 if it's First Niagara's, unless the promotion is First Niagara, which I'm sure it probably is. But there's a guy here. What's his name? Sam Holloway, right over here in the corner. I saw that he was WWE ID on some little flyer on Facebook. I did a little digging on him, and he is somebody that I was always interested in seeing. I won't be attending this event. It's going to be, what do you call it? Hold on a second. Let me grab this. It's going to be on the same weekend as Immortal Championship Wrestling's 2K25. There's going to be some TNA wrestlers there. Dirty Dango, I guess you could say, JDC and TNA. I actually saw him there at Border Brawl, but he's going to be there. But if you guys aren't attending that ICW show and you guys live in the Niagara region, go check it out. There you go. Next up here from the Brawl Fest, the Border Brawl event, was What the Blank is Zonify, and this was Zonify. I believe they were hosting the live streaming service, or they just like facilitated something for this TNA event. But I did get this little flyer. There was a match between Eric Young and Matt Hardy, and that was a really good match. I was rooting for Eric Young the whole time. Big Eric Young fan. Next up here, I think I got this at that Indies Toy Shop, but this is Toy Collector. I think it's a magazine. So what does it say? Your behind-the-curtain deep dive into the world of collectible action figure past and present. You can subscribe to this magazine now. I picked this up at That 80s Toy Shop. So there you go if you guys are interested in getting a Toy Collector magazine. And I was looking at that little picture down there. There's a whole bunch of stuff. You got Ghostbusters, Andre the Giant from Princess Bride, Tron. So I don't know if you guys are kind of like me and you have a wide range of interest when it comes to figures. You have that. And I think that's it for the literature. All right, let's just get right into it. I will start off with, let's just get these out of the way. It's so cool. Hold on a second, guys. Let me show you this. So this is the chair that I have leaned up right up against here in my arena, and over time I have just found these little towels, and it all started with this TNA towel right there. And I got that. I don't know if this is the actual event, but that's where I got the flyer. It was TNA. I think it was Under Siege last year, so almost a year ago today. You know what? It probably was, because it was the weekend of the 24th. Almost a year ago today, I was in Albany for TNA Under Siege, or at least the show after that, and I got that towel, and now I have these new TNA towels. So it's so funny. I guess every year around this time, I'll be getting TNA towels, but this is for Border Brawl. So you can see at the top, it does say Zonify, but on the bottom, there's a TNA logo. It's got the date there. These were for the fans. So on one side, it was Canada, and on the other side, you have the U.S. flag. The whole gimmick of the event was it's, Team USA versus Team Canada, and there was a point system. Of course, Canada prevailed. They had to put themselves over. But yeah, so we got those. Those are really cool, and I will have them here adorning the chairs around my arena with the rest of them. Some loose figures we did get pretty cheap at That 80s Toy Shop. To start off is, I think this is the ECW champion Matt Hardy Elite. And this was like $3. The only downside is his ponytail is gone, so he kind of just has this like yarmulke on. I don't know what's going on there, but I always really wanted this figure. I always thought this figure looked super cool, and I love the pants, so maybe I could do something custom-wise with it. I'll probably end up trading it in sometime down the line, but still, this is a cool Elite to have it for $3. I figured I'd play around with it for a little bit. So yeah, it's not bad. There we go. Next up here, an Elite that I was going to buy last time that I was there, but decided not to. This is going to be that fairly recent Legends Paul Orndorff figure. Paul Orndorff, he's a guy that, you know, I kind of want to have in the collection. I see this and that about him. He was all over the place. He was a big heel when it came to Hulk Hogan. And this figure really wasn't that beat up or anything. I know it's not really... well, actually, yeah, there we go. Zooming in. It wasn't too beat up. It's not really loose or anything. But I thought this would be a nice figure to have in the collection. I think it was what? Where was it? It was like $6, so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna grab that. It's nice to have Paul Orndorff in the collection. A couple other figures here before we wrap it up. Number 1, at Border Brawl, I was able to meet Nick Nemeth, formerly known as Dolph Ziggler in WWE, one of my personal favorite wrestlers of all time. I'm a huge Nick Nemeth fan. Now me, I always get super nervous about meeting wrestlers and like, you know, stumbling over my tongue or saying the wrong thing. So I kept the interaction very short. I was like, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? I was wondering if you'd sign this figure for me. And he was like, sure. As he was signing it, I asked him if he had seen this figure before. This is going to be the Major Bendy's from the Major Wrestling Figure podcast. This is actually the Chase figure. I kind of found that out last night when I was looking at this thing. This is the Chase, though. I got this on sale. I think I reviewed it here on the channel. I was going to... okay, sorry. Back to the interaction. I always do this, guys. They're going rants. Back to the interaction, though. He had seen this figure before. He kind of made a joke. He's like, yeah, I mean, I work with Brian Myers. And, of course, Brian Myers, part of the system, is a TNA roster member, so he's probably the facilitator for this. But he does not know if there's any other figures coming for him or TNA Wrestling. And I know that there were those Power Town figures, and actually, I should put this over here. I'll keep it on screen. I know that there were those Power Town figures coming for TNA. You got Jordan Grace, Moose, Eddie Edwards, I think, and then, like, Josh Alexander. And I really was hoping there'd be some more TNA figures coming from Power Town in the future, but he didn't hear anything about it. It didn't really sound like it's a big thing to talk about there at TNA. I know that they're not a huge promotion, but nonetheless, I thought it would be an interesting question to ask because, you know, I collect action figures after all. But he was really, really nice. Got to take a picture with them and just kept it short. Didn't want to embarrass myself at all. But overall, he was very, very nice. I know that I keep talking here, but I just kind of want to share this. A couple other legends of wrestling that I met. One of them maybe not so much a legend. Well, actually, maybe both of them not so much a legend. But the first one was Tessa Blanchard. And I just have to get this little story out. I'm sorry. Tessa Blanchard obviously is a wrestler who was under a lot of hot water. Made some comments in the past that were kind of unsavory. And I really didn't agree with them. I, watch on YouTube and watch on TV and watch Thursday nights, and I was like, screw Tessa Blanchard, whatever. And I was thinking the same thing, even when she came out, but when she came out next to Nick Nemeth at the autograph meet and greet, I really wanted to make sure that I was watching her and just seeing how she was, what her attitude was like, and she honestly could not have been nicer. She really could not have been nicer to the people around her. She came out, and I know that she kind of just came back into wrestling. Maybe she's just kind of in that honeymoon phase of meeting the fans and everything. But she asked all the little kids to come over. And she, took pictures with them and spoke with them. And she, beckoned them to come over. It wasn't like the kids were waiting. She was like, hey, I don't have a line here. Come talk to me. Come, take a picture, whatever. And I thought that was so nice. And I didn't really get to see if Nick Nemeth or Matt Hardy did that. So I don't want to say that they didn't do something like that. But I also had the opportunity because I was standing in line. There was nobody in front of her. I just was like, screw it. I walked up and I just asked if I could shake her hand. And she was more than obliging. She actually made a funny joke. She was like, $20 for a handshake. And I kind of jokingly reached for my wallet. But we shook hands. I'm not making some big deal, simping over that or whatever. But she was very nice. And I am always somebody that really tries to make my own decisions about things and about people. And I didn't see the behind the scenes. I get it. I'm a fan, whatever. But at face value, on paper, my interaction with Tessa Blanchard definitely earned her some points in my book. I'm not really anybody important, but I did, I did enjoy my interaction with her, and I honestly believe that, I can't believe I'm saying this, maybe some people give her a hard time about stuff. She really seemed to be kind. She really seemed to be into it with everybody. She was great when she came out during the match, regardless of the chance, and I just wanted to say that, all right? I just wanted to say that, some redemption a little bit for Tessa Blanchard, but that was pretty much my whole experience at Border Brawl. I know this is a 10-minute video. I will go over these last two things very quickly. Number one, we do have a Jay Lethal signed figure. I did trade in a bunch of Elites at that 80s toy shop, and I was able to get those loose figures that I showed off, along with this signed Jay Lethal. I also grabbed This Ultimate Warrior Monday Night Wars Elite, the only one the only one out of that line that I really wanted. I do have the Lita. I did get that signed by Lita, but this is a really cool figure, and I will be unboxing this. I know this is going to be a figure that is going to be incredibly expensive in the future, but I do not care, and it also has the head of Dusty, so that's going to be something else too. But I do not care. I want to have this unboxed, and I want to put it on display here because I've been wanting this for so long. But Ultimate Warrior, I want just really quickly the signed Jay Lethal because I feel like I didn't spend enough time talking about this. You know what? Screw it. It's my channel. Whatever. If you're watching this, you're along for the ride. I was getting down to the last of my money spent on all the trade-in value that I had at that 80s, and I was like, you know what? You guys have an autograph that's like $40, and they had this Jay Lethal for $45, so I picked it up. It's sealed. It's never been opened from Figures Toy Company. He does have an AEW figure that theoretically I could have gotten signed, but I do have this one. It is legitimate. I mean, there's pictures of him signing like tables of these things. I have no reason to believe that it's not. I don't even know if there's an authentication. I didn't even think to check, but I 100% believe this is Jay Lethal. No offense to Jay, he's not like friggin' Hulk Hogan or something. It's not like there's going to be a huge debate over if this is real or not, but I do have a Jay Lethal figure in my collection. Jay Lethal, big fan of Jay Lethal, both in TNA and in AEW and in Ring of Honor as well. Huge fan of him. The guy's been around for a long time, and I honestly am honored to have a Jay Lethal autograph in my collection. Super cool. I'm going to toss it over here. But the final thing here, folks, the biggest thing that I have to show off, because I'm a figure collector, I wanted to save this for the end. We have a retro WWE Elite and Basic or action figure poster here. So I'm going to do my best to show this off the best that I can. And you might get a little glimpse of me. Let's find out. All right. And I am shoeless, so if you see my feet, I apologize. Or my little toes. There we go. I'm just kidding. My legs are pretty nice. My legs are pretty nice, I'm not going to lie. All right, number one. Boo! Boo! On this side, we have a huge, massive Hulk Hogan poster. This is when he got back from TNA and came back into WWE. This is like 2014, 2015. So they're advertising all the new figures of his. But boo! You guys know I do not like Hulk Hogan. But on the back here, check this out. This massive retro, I would say retro, honestly, WWE action figure poster. I got this for $20 at that 80s toy shop. A steep price for a poster, I know, but these things are really rare. I actually met the guy who traded this in. He was a pretty nice guy. Said that he had this thing in like in his office hanging up or something like that, or like folded up, but it's in great condition. I'm going to try to keep it in great condition, folded. I'm not going to hang this up or display it just yet, but this is super cool. We've got the Superstar, the Basic series all through here, and then all the way down here at the bottom are the Elites that were coming out at the time. Not great. This isn't like, some really awesome Elites that were in this series. These ones were not great, aside from, I guess, the Roman and the Seth. But it is cool to have those two. And this is right after the Shield were kind of debuting, coming into their own. But that is super cool to have. Super glad about this thing. I was so happy. You guys know me. I like my little literature, my little flyers, little pieces of history. And this is exactly what I needed. All right, folks. That is going to be quite the long video, but I had quite the weekend. Oh, my God. I forgot to admit, I went so long with that Tessa Blanchard story. I also didn't really meet, but I kind of walked behind and at least saw like literally like inches away from me Brutus the Barber Beefcake. He seemed fine. He was walking out there. He was waving to people, whatever. I know he's a big Hulk Hogan mark, but regardless, it was just cool to see him as well. He's really tall, and he was hunched over. I was like, whoa, he is a really tall guy. So Brutus Beefcake, shout out to him. He was pretty chill as well, but I will leave it there, folks, as always, and you get a little view of the inner side of the table here. As always, my name is Navigator with the frickin' NWA title. My name is Navigator. Have a nice day. Take care.